I'm Blacked Out Reviews, and this is my review of The Fall Guy. I gotta be honest, I didn't really feel like making this review because, I saw this movie like a week ago, and during that time I had a whole bunch of other videos in the works and stuff like that, so I was just like, you know what, I'll just talk about it in my top 10 movies of 2024. But I just couldn't because recently I looked this up, just making sure how, movies were doing, box office, whatnot, all that junk. And I saw that The Fall Guy already has or is getting a digital release. And that kind of is upsetting to me because this movie was fantastic. It was great. And now it's box office and all of that stuff. It's done. It's gone. And now this is going to be considered a box office failure and a flop. Because here's the thing, being the fact that this is going to digital means that this movie, and be in mind you, by the time of this recording, The Fall Guy released maybe a month or two ago, so it didn't really have that much time in theaters. So this movie basically got killed in 2 months, and I'm giving 2 months generously, because here's the thing. With movies and theaters, they need a good amount of weeks to make their box office, unless they're a big franchise film that could easily get the box office rolling. Then it's not gonna happen, because with Deadpool and Wolverine, that's easily gonna make back its box office in a weekend, I assume. But this is different because it doesn't have the luxury. Yeah, sure, this is based off an IP of a TV show from the 80s or whatever. But this isn't one of those iconic TV shows, to where it's wow, it's that thing. It's oh, that came out, I guess. I saw this movie with my mom, and I asked her what was similar with this movie compared to the TV show, and she said just the guy's name and the fact that he's a stuntman. I don't think most people knew that show existed until the movie came out.
I'm asking you to leave.
Come on, I'm a race car, you're a much older race car, but under the hood, you and I are the same.
We are not the same, understand?
Sorry, getting off topic, back to the whole movie thing. So, with the whole box office and stuff like that, movies basically have a window of time of being in theaters and out to streaming and cable and all that stuff. And as of recently, more and more over time, I'm starting to notice a trend of how a movie is just it's out, and 2 seconds later, literally, not even 2 months even, the movie is already on streaming, it's already on TV. And I didn't think it would happen to The Fall Guy, but somehow it did. And the thing is this, with The Fall Guy, it did not have a great opening. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't groundbreaking. And the thing is this, nowadays with movie studios, if they see a movie that doesn't have record-breaking box office opening numbers, they're gonna just go off, consider it a failure, and just put it onto streaming in a month or two. And the thing is this, it's been proven, not always, but it has been proven that a movie with a horrible box office can sometimes come back. Because here's an example of this. The Pirates of the Caribbean, which released in 2003, had a box office opening of $460 million. That's not that's pretty bad. But in the end, it had a worldwide release of $654 million worldwide. If that's not incredible, I don't know what is. Now, take a movie like The Fall Guy. Yeah, sure, it might have not made, $654 million, but guess what? We won't know because it's already on digital. It just comes to the point of why even release this movie in theaters if you're not going to give it the chance. From the words of a guinea pig from G-Force, they didn't even give us a chance, and it's just criminal of what they're doing with movies nowadays. And I just didn't think that they would do it for The Fall Guy, because I'm not gonna lie, I was hyped for Fall Guy. I was super into it, because I'm a big fan of the director David Lynch, because after Bullet Train in 2022, that just made me have such a love for movies in general. It was just so fantastic. And then after finding out that he made Deadpool 2, oh, I was in for this movie. I was hyped for all the trailers, everything coming out for this movie. And I saw this in theaters, and it was fantastic. Because I saw this in theaters, and it was fantastic. I mean, this is just a love letter to films and the making of films in general. I love, the action. I love the acting. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt are great in this. This is such a good action romance film. It is just such a good summer blockbuster. And the fact that it was killed it was like, what? Like, I don't even know, like, how does a movie this good just get unceremoniously killed? Like, I just don't understand it, honestly, man. It's just awful. And to give a review of this movie, I would give it like an 8 out of 10. I know this isn't like a true like review, like video, but like I just want to talk about the whole industry of like how movies just don't have a chance in theaters anymore. Because there's a whole bunch of other cases like that. There's movies like Bob Marley that came out this year, Abigail that came out this year. There's a whole list of movies that I could tell you. But my whole point of this is just to say that there needs to be a change in the Hollywood industry, because as we're moving to a more of a digital age with movies, we're kind of losing a bit of that magical feel. And with that, we're losing the appeal of seeing movies in theaters, because if more people just see, oh, this movie that just came out a month ago is now on TV, you're losing the feel. You're losing like the Hollywood magic. I don't know, I'm not some bigwig exec or anything like that, but there has to be a change. And I don't know what to do, but I need to say something about it. If you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. And remember, I'm Blacked Out Reviews. I reviewed it, so you don't have to.